So dumb but hilarious.
Yeah, it's great. CSI Miami. Yeah! So, like anything that can be used well can be used badly. A hammer that builds the house for the orphans is the hammer that kills the villagers.
Sure.
So the same mind that creates the past and looks to the future also can run wild. And instead of, the goal is to look at the past, distill it down to the lessons, and then to take the point of the past and memory is to understand lessons and the way things work so you can make decisions now and be able to improve upon your current situation. What it's not supposed to do is the excessive rumination, the looping of a negative experience to the point where you're not learning anything from it. You're just looping it.
Obsessive.
You're just obsessive rumination on this.
I wish it would have happened differently.
Yeah,
What
on this
if I
negative
tried
experience.
That? What if I did this?
And that isn't helpful at all. So it's recognizing, it's just being aware of the utility and the reason why we have memory. And the reason why we have memory is so that we can make better decisions now, not to masochistically torture ourselves on the past.
Create suffering and pain.
And the reason why we do that from a mindfulness perspective, Eckhart Tolle talked about how you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness of your thoughts. Also with that, you have an identity. And your identity, who you identify with, is based on thoughts and experiences and memories. So if things happen in the past that have been really, really unpleasant, and you've identified yourself with, let's say, negative, being a procrastinator, being lazy, or being selfish.
I just procrastinate.
That's just who I am. I'm bad with names. That's a big one. Self-fulfilling prophecy there.
Yeah.
But if you identify with a thought pattern that is painful or negative or unserving, and then you try to change, to let go of that, it literally signals the same physiological responses as like a fight or flight or a death response, where to let go of that past, no matter how painful it is, literally signals death on a subconscious level.
I've identified that's who I am.
And then basically to distill it, it's like, generally speaking, we prefer the devil we know as opposed to the devil we don't know. So even though it could get better if we let go of this old painful self, it's still what we think ourselves are. So we're not going to let it go.
And like you said, those are all just projections or ruminating or revisiting past ways of being and then identifying with them.
Yeah.
Rather than meeting yourself where you're at.
Yeah.
Before you take yourself where you want to go. And so, we talked about push-ups.
Yep.
One of the other ones that I thought was really useful, and I've done this before, and I've seen some friends do this before, is to give yourself an opportunity that may be at your edge or just around the edge of your comfort zone, and let your future self worry about that. So as an example, we had our friend Abdu on the podcast a couple of shows ago, and before he was ready to deliver his first stand-up set, he booked his first stand-up set.
Yep.
So before I was ready to deliver my first hour and a half workshop on how to do public speaking, I didn't have any curriculum, didn't have a PowerPoint presentation set up, but I had some skills.
Yeah.
I scheduled it and I sold that and I set it up. I'm sure you've done that tons of different times in your life, and you can think of a time where, in a future sense, you set yourself up to do something outside of your comfort zone right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. And just a side digression before I answer that, the Ryan McGurr Breck, who we talked about, our mentor, he said one of the reasons to wear glasses is so you can take them off.
So dumb but hilarious.
It's great. CSI Miami. Yeah!